So what you're bringing up is it's a state of consciousness.
Yeah.
Choosing like positive affirmations, right?
No, not really positive
In a way.
affirmation, but I've seen that when I do best, it's like when I'm outside myself. Let's try to explain. Have you ever seen like Messi or Ronaldo playing in television in football?
Yeah.
When they do the greatest thing, they aren't really thinking about this. It's their natural performance is let out. So they're not really inside of their mind. They're just flowing. Just flowing.
Yeah.
And that's the exact same thing in trading.
So there's actually a word for this, for what that is. I don't know off the top of my head, but it's some sort of like mental phenomenon when you have this disconnection from self.
Yeah.
And it's almost as if you're watching yourself perform an action and you're not necessarily thinking about it. It's almost like some people call it like God mode. Like you're pretty much just you're so locked in that it's not you anymore. You know, it's your instincts, it's all these things taking over. Exactly. And it's pushing you to be essentially the best version of yourself, but ultimately the best version in the world.
Yeah.
In the case of these people. But it can start very small, right? You don't have to become God mode, you know. No. It can start very small. I'll give you an analogy. The other day, I was playing tennis, right? Okay. And I was doing terrible. Like, I was really doing poorly. And tennis is a very mental game because it's just you, right? It's nobody else. It's just, every time you fuck up, it's you. So as the game went on, you know, I started to think about when I was serving mentally, you know, how was I talking to myself? What was my inner talk? And I realized I was like, wow, I'm being such an asshole to myself right now. Like every time I serve, I think I'm going to miss it. So I started just telling myself, I'm like, you are Roger Federer, right? In his prime. I was like, you are locked in and you're literally going to win this point. Like I just literally repeated that I was Roger Federer and just felt as though if I was him when he's serving, he's very confident. Yeah. Any tennis player, right? And the next set, I ended up winning by doing that like positive affirmation or that mental exercise where, to your point, I deep in my core just started to believe that I was going to do better. Yeah. And I did better.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And the best mode is when the chattering of your mind stops for a minute. Like it's always like when you have your best moments in life, like when you are talking to people, you don't think about you talking, you just live, and that's when our best is really found. The perfection is found in I think absence of mind, and this is the philosophy behind Buddhism. Like all religion at the end talks about the absence of the mind. When the mind is quiet, the mind doesn't talk to you. You perform in ways that you don't know. You are like channeling something that's outside yourself. It seems very strange to say like this, but I think that's the reality. When we perform better and we look back, we don't recall what we did. We don't recall exactly how you was moving your legs or your arm, but you was moving perfectly.
You're moving with heart and purpose. Yeah, that's what's happening, right? It's very interesting, this conversation, because you think very similar to me. That is how I think, and so you're one of the most successful traders that I've spoken with, you know, on the pod, and to have this come up in a conversation, because on a day-to-day basis, all I'm thinking about is how do I quiet the chatter and have a still mind.
There's no how. And the more you try to quiet your mind, the more your mind starts to chattering. But for me, the user realization was that everything that your mind says to you, it's a fucking lie. It's a fucking lie. If you put it on paper, I love to write. If you put it on paper, what you are thinking, at the end of the day, there's something wrong. There's something wrong in what you're thinking, because I don't know why. I don't know why, but every single thing that your mind says, more, if not every single thing, is basically a lie.